Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Apologies real quick about the lighting. It's kind of a dark and gloomy day, but I'm gonna hustle through this video and hopefully outpace the sun. So let's get into it. You may have noticed that I've been making fewer videos lately. Don't worry, I am not deleting my channel, but I created this channel so I could document my process of decluttering. I'd actually started decluttering before I created this channel, and whenever I created it, I was kicking myself for not making it sooner such that you could see the entire process. But for the last couple of months, you may have noticed that I haven't been making as many videos. Now, I am not the kind of person on YouTube who's going to make a video every week if I don't have something important to share with you. But since I'm kind of done decluttering my house at this point, there are a couple of areas that I can think of that need a little bit of attention, but they're not super high on the priority list, and I'll get around to those eventually. But since I'm kind of done decluttering otherwise, I thought I would share with you guys the top 5 ways that my life has been impacted by the process of decluttering, or sort of how my life has changed now that I am done decluttering my possessions. So here they are, let's just jump right into them. I've spoken a bit about money. If you're new around here, I have made a video on personal finance best practices, the tips and tricks that have helped me to get my personal finances on track. And I've also made another video on budgeting, but if you haven't seen me talk about money, my God, I save so much money as a minimalist. I haven't shopped as a pastime for years. Whenever I buy clothing, it is an almost painstakingly slow and deliberate process. I don't buy knickknacks for my home, and I've dramatically cut down on consumables like skincare, body care, candles, things like that. Now, as I've gone through the process of decluttering my home, obviously I end up with a bunch of things that aren't adding value to my life, a bunch of things that I don't need and that I probably shouldn't have purchased in the first place. And so that has helped to shine a huge light on some terrible shopping and spending practices that I had before. Now, I haven't taken the time to tally up all of the items that I've decluttered over the years. Of course, even if I tried to estimate their original value, that wouldn't be really any good to anyone because things depreciate so quickly after you purchase them. But I think I can safely and conservatively estimate that I have spent thousands of dollars on things that I've decluttered over the years. So things that weren't adding any value to my life that I just ended up getting rid of anyway. And for anyone out there who's saying like, oh, you should just hold on to those things because you might need them someday, please go watch my video on sunk cost fallacy. Anyway, now that I am not spending money on impulsive things that aren't going to be beneficial to me, that has allowed me to divert my money towards things that are actually going to be valuable to me, things like paying off my house and saving for retirement. It's kind of impossible to go through the process of decluttering and not be like slapped in the face by our own wastefulness. If you are decluttering and you're not becoming more aware of your own carbon footprint, you're probably doing it wrong. Obviously, I was just talking about spending money, having better shopping habits, and if we're only buying the things that we need, then automatically that is going to be much more sustainable. But I've also learned a lot more over the years about recycling and composting and buying locally whenever possible, or buying secondhand. Whenever you go through the process of decluttering, you end up with a bunch of stuff that you now have to put somewhere else, physically put somewhere else. And I have made a video on how to responsibly get rid of things you declutter. In that video, I specifically talked about clothing, but I'll link it down below. Anyway, the Cliffs Notes version is that I try my best to first give away things to other people that I know that are going to find value in those items. One time I finished a 30-day minimalism challenge, and we had a contractor at our house doing some work, and he ended up taking a bunch of those things home to his family. I've also given away a lot of things to friends. If I know people who are going to find value in those items, then I first try to do that, give those items away. Second, I donate only the really, really good things that I am very confident are going to be sold again, and I like to find charities or, well, donate to either charities that will use their profits for causes that I believe in, or donate directly to other causes like women and children's shelters. That's the second thing I like to do. And then finally, if I can, even if I have to go a little bit out of my way, I like to recycle all of those other items that I don't think would be resold or beneficial to anyone else. and I don't want to contaminate my recycling, so anything that cannot be recycled goes to trash. This is kind of a little bit of a tangent, but one of the most sort of enlightening sustainability experiences that I've had over the last couple of years was touring my local recycling facility. If I can do nothing else in this video except encourage even just a few of you to go tour your local recycling facilities, that would make this worth it. It was really eye-opening to see how they process all the materials, what they can and can't take, and where those materials go. So if you can, call up your local recycling facility and try to schedule a tour. And if not, at the very least, please look up recycling practices in your location to make sure that you're not contaminating your recyclable goods, because if they notice things in your recyclables that will contaminate those materials, it will just be diverted to landfill. So learn more about recycling, composting, or how to more sustainably get rid of your waste. That has been a huge and really valuable practice that I've learned through the process of decluttering. I can travel more. Now, a lot of these practices sort of dovetail into each other, which isn't super surprising, but now that I've gone through the process of decluttering and I understand what's meaningful to me, and I'm also not wasting a bunch of money on superfluous things that I don't need, I can travel more. Now, I realize I just talked about sustainability, and travel is not super environmentally friendly, not great. Of course, you can maybe be a bit more sustainable when you travel slowly, but I have a normal job, my time is limited, so that isn't something I've been able to dabble with. I would love to be able to do that in the future, but so far, I haven't really been able to. Still, I think that travel can be incredibly valuable for personal growth. You get to experience how other people live and take that back with you. And so now that I have fewer possessions to maintain and I have more money from not buying a bunch of crap that I don't actually need, I get to go out and have those experiences. I'm a little bit hesitant to mention this one because I don't want to seem like I'm bragging or tooting my own horn or making myself out to be some kind of saint that I am definitely not, but now that I've gone through the process of decluttering my house, I am no longer preoccupied with my possessions. I've found that I can be much more generous with my time and money towards causes that I care about. My husband and I are big animal lovers, so last year we started fostering cats. We had 3 different batches of cats stay with us, either families or individuals who just needed a little bit of love. It is a lot of work, like taking care of cats, especially families of cats at a time. It's not trivial, but I won't go as far as to call it altruism because they're also incredibly cute and it's super rewarding to be able to take care of them and give them a head start. But fostering animals is a way that we've learned we can give back. Another thing that I haven't mentioned so far is, but I've also kind of wanted to share with you guys because it's a big deal and I'm kind of proud of it, is that we were able to help out a family member and get them into a home. We learned that this family member was living on a fixed income and they kept getting priced out of the apartments they were living in. So we had saved up a sizable chunk of money, and so we were able to put that down and get them into a condo. So not only is that family member now secure, but my husband and I are also relieved because we know that our family is stable and taken care of. This last one may kind of be a culmination of a lot of different things, but I care vastly less now about what other people think of me than I did a few years ago. Now, I'm older and hopefully a little bit wiser, but before going through the process of decluttering and beginning to practice minimalism, I, like I'm sure many people, wanted my possessions to sort of speak for me. I wanted the latest trends. I wanted to fit in. I wanted my possessions to kind of demonstrate my value to other people, and now I couldn't care less about that. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like nice things, but the things that I've chosen to keep, or the things that I now allow into my life, are things that serve me. And this doesn't just apply to wanting to have the latest brand names or labels. This could even apply to sentimental items or things that I was given. If there is something that isn't aligned with my values, then I feel no obligation to keep it. And what I think is interesting is that not only is this hugely freeing for me, I don't have to be self-conscious or worry about what other people think about me, it also seems to be something that other people still appreciate. I'm still told, "You look great today," or "nice outfit," or "your house looks so tasteful," even if I don't own or wear the things people might expect. All right, those are the top 5 ways that my life has changed after going through the process of decluttering. Of course, there are tons of other ones. I could keep talking for a really long time. I spend more time with family and friends. I have time to exercise, sort of. It's ridiculously easy to clean and maintain my home and my possessions, but these are really the most significant ways that going through the actual process of decluttering has had an impact on my life. So if you are deep in the throes of decluttering yourself, then I hope that this can inspire you to keep going. That's going to be it for me today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.